Hi, this is Lauren. Today I'm going to show you again how to make some really cool cell phone cases for your phone by the weaves created off the Loopdeloom. This product is actually very cool because it is so versatile that you can do so many things. An example of a phone case that I have is actually just a simple rectangular weave that you can create any type of design pattern on. It's actually a pretty cool and easy thing to do. So let me show you. Once you've created your design on the loom, you are going to have to take your actual piece off the loom. Pulling the pegs out is actually a pretty simple step. All you do is you have to hold onto your weave itself, and then you slightly pull your warps off, just like this. So once you've taken this whole entire piece off your warp in the Loopdeloom, you're going to have to readjust all your yarn so it's nice and flat and everything is even. Here I have taken off my woven piece off the loom, and you can see I've already readjusted all my yarn so all the lines you can no longer see a crease. So from this step, you need to decide how you want your phone case to look. So there's a couple variations that you could do. One of the variations is that you could simply fold your phone case in half, just like this, and you can tie the sides of your weave together. Now there's also another trick to do this. If you want your stripes to be facing the other way, you can simply fold it again in half, and this is really cool because you can have accent fringes on your phone case where you could actually have fringes on the bottom and fringes hanging off the side. If you were to do this step, you would need to sew the side of the phone case together. Now another cool and unique thing is, and this is actually the version that I am going to show today, is when you have it off rectangularly, folded in half, and your fringe can be on the side of your phone case. Now another thing you have to decide too is if you would actually like your fringe to be hidden or showing. In my first original demonstration, I had shown all the fringe of my phone case sewn in and hidden. You also can add this really cute little flap to your phone case. All it is just the top part of the phone case folded just like this. So again, I'm going to switch back to my weave. So when you have this complete and taken off your loom, you will notice that your other ends are free and they are not connected together. So you're going to have to cut the loops on the opposite end of your weave. Once you have done so, I always like to make sure the tails of my colors that are left over from the weave are tied in with the warp strands. So all you can do is just create a simple loop, and then you're going to tie a knot just to attach to that very last cluster of yarn. Make sure it's nice and tight. You don't want this piece coming loose at all, since this could actually unravel your whole entire weave. So I'm going to flip it around to the other side and do the exact same thing again. I'm just tying the end side here, getting a nice knot, pulling it tightly. So if you want the fringe to be displayed on the outside, this is actually a pretty simple and easy step to do. In previous videos, I know I've demonstrated that you can tie 3 clusters of the yarn together to finish it up. We're actually going to do that when tying the sides together. So you can take a cluster of 3 pieces of yarn, just like I have done here, and make sure they are the main warps. And all you're going to simply do is just tie them together. Now keep in mind, make sure if you're wanting the fringe on the outside that all the section changes of the excess string are facing on the inside. You want to make sure you have a clean outside as best as possible. You want to make this phone case look beautiful. So I'm going to go through here and tie this whole side together. And then using the power of the camera, I'm going to show you guys again the next step. Once you have knotted both sides together, you have to decide where you'd like to go from this step. There's a couple different variations that you could do. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, you can hide the fringe on the inside of your weave, or you can leave the fringe hanging on the outside of your weave. So very simply, if you wanted to create the fringe and have it hidden, all you would simply do is just fold your phone case inside out, and you could trim all the strands if you wanted to, so you wouldn't have anything else hanging. And it would look like this, and all we would do was just sew the one bottom together. Now, if you didn't want to do this, and this is what I'm actually going to demonstrate today, is having the fringe on the outside of the cell phone case. So it's pretty cool. The fringe does not have to be just on the side of the phone case. It can be centered in the center of the phone case too. And all this can get trimmed down to look a little bit shorter. You may not want it as long as what you have here. So I've decided that I would like my fringe to be in the center of my phone case. So this is going to decide how my bottom is going to actually get sewn together. If you wanted your bottom sewn together and have the fringe on the inside, you can't have it hanging on the side. So since I want it in the center of the phone case, all I am going to do is take my handy dandy wide-eyed needle, and you can find these wide-eyed needles at any craft store. They're usually found in the yarn section or in the sewing section of your store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my yarn that I used for the weave, cut a little bit larger than 15 inches, and all I'm going to do is pull my yarn through the wide-eyed needle, and you want to knot one of the ends of your yarn. This is just so the yarn does not slip through while you are sewing your cell phone case together. So make sure all the fringes are on the outside of the weave. Now all you're going to do is you're going to start on one end and start stitching the bottom together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to always like to start from the inside. If you start from the outside, you will see your knot. So keep that in mind. Always start sewing from the inside of your weave. So I'm going around the bottom, and I am just stitching and pulling the bottom portion together. So once you have sewn the whole entire bottom of your phone case together, you're going to have to finish off with a knot. So make sure when you're doing a knot, you just leave at the last loop that you have from your previous stitch. All you're going to do is pull your needle through it and pull it one more time, and then pull a very tight knot and really squeeze it down and pull. This should be enough to hold your weave together. So this is a cool step. So now your phone case is actually complete. We have our fringe nicely in the center of how we'd like it. And like I said before, you can trim it up so all the fringe is even. My easy trick of this is just to lay out all the fringe and try and press it to all be the same length. Then you can simply take your scissors and run it straight across. This just helps even everything up and make it look clean. If you're going for that messy look, go ahead and keep all the yarn long. If not, I always like a little bit more of a cleaner look. So I like to have my yarn nicely trimmed. So here it is. Here's the cool fringe phone case. And if you would even like to, you could even fold over and have that nice little flap on the top. And your cell phone should fit absolutely perfect in the inside. So I hope my instructional video today was helpful on the cell phone case. And play away and have fun crafting on the Loopdeloom.